Okay, hey y'all, it's me, Denisha. Well, today I went and voted for the first time. Yay. Um, well, I'll talk about that in another video. Today, I just want to talk about well, how I decided to stop going to a church. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Another church I just stopped going to. This time, it was kind of odd, because I turned around, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, okay, well, I was like, you know, well, I ain't gonna say I wasn't taking my medicine, but I was sitting there talking to her, and she was like, okay, well, a church, if they tell you to stop taking your medicine, that God's gonna heal you, then that's not like a good church. And you have to agree. Would you just like say you got cancer and stuff, and you sitting there like, okay, got your cancer, and you stop going to your treatments and stuff, and say, oh, God's gonna heal me? I don't think that's gonna work out so well. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna die. I'm sorry. Just like God put doctors on earth for wisdom and stuff, You ain't gotta sit there and say, well, God's gonna heal me and stuff, so I ain't gotta take no medicine and stuff. That's not cool. So anyways, I called my friend and stuff. I was like, okay, I don't really want to go to the church anymore, It doesn't seem right. I don't feel right there. And she was sitting there fighting and fighting and fighting, not like arguing and yelling, saying, oh, well, that's the devil, That's the devil who's trying to stop you from going to the church. And, oh, my goodness, you should talk to him and stuff. I was like, no. If you are a real friend to me, you will respect my wishes. So anyways, I was sitting there like, okay, that's just not my church. And eventually I had to cut her off because she would not stop yapping. So I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't go to the church anymore. Don't. No, I don't want to go to the church anymore. So she just like kept talking. I was like, whatever, and I hung up, and But anyways, reasons I stopped going. This is like the little cut thing that made me like click. Apparently, the men are more important than the girls. So I was sitting there it was Sunday, and you know how you go up to lunch lines or whatever and stuff. I was going up to get my food, and I was like one of the first people up there. And then I was sitting there, and I was about to get my food, and then the pastor or whatever, preacher, was like, oh, let the men go first. I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad. I was like, okay, my little polite stuff. In my head, I'm like, wait, what the? I thought that if anything, that ladies were first. Or if that's not the case, then everybody's supposed to go or something. How is the men first? That's not right. I'm sorry. So anyways, I was just like, okay, whatever. And it was crazy. I mean, in my mind, I was like, man, fuck that. But anyways, that's about it, I'm going to cut this off right there because I've been ranting too much. See ya.